just an amazing display of unity. Um, it feels like an all-star game when these albums come out. It's like a beautiful time for the culture. Everybody's tapped in and tuned in. No matter what they tell you, they all tapped in, and they all tuned in, and everybody want to be on them joints too. Believe that.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. Nah, man, what you did was something, when my first reaction when I got the verse, just playing the record for you that day was you giving me the time and cracking it. I'm just gonna tell it in real time, people. The man walked in there with champagne, what I'm saying? The music was playing, the cigar got lit, a bottle got cracked open, and the vibe started happening. I don't know if I got a chance to tell the story, but I seen a clip of Guru saying you knocked that shit out in one verse. And I was saying to myself, I remember when Hov hit us, he was like, yo, get studio at blah, blah, blah. Make sure Guru's there. I got to catch the helicopter at 8. I'm going to probably show up around 7.
Yeah, but I
And
was cheating. Gu ain't tell that part. Gu ain't tell that part. So while we was waiting for you to send the beat, it was just playing the beat inside the control room. So I was going through it a couple times. Uh, I was going through it a couple times while I was waiting for and I was just rapping over like any part. It just kept looping, and like drops was happening in the wrong place.
I
And
know.
so I just, yeah. I think I sent it to you like that, right? I don't know.
Like that.
I'm not sure.
So Hov rapped over the hook, the breaks, because Guru was waiting for me to send the
Yeah,
instrumental. When you sent it back, I was
yeah,
like, this man rapping over the hook.
yeah. So I cheated a couple times before I went in the booth. But I was saying it inside the control room, and then so when I went in the booth, it was pretty much a done deal.
Hove, if I may just get into the verse, because me, myself, Guru, my man Frazier, we all kind of talking about the verse, and what I kind of got out of it, just remembering in the early days of hip hop and how we've always been aspirational as a culture, and in our music, even thinking about early records like Special Ed, I Got It Made was so aspirational, like right. Guru pointed out just to own a percent, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all we wanted, or a Honda scooter or something like that. And your verse to me, and if I'm off base, tell me, is it, obviously we still have aspirations, but it's so much about actualization. And you're obviously telling your story, but I think it's hip hop story as well of how we grew and the bar and the level has been raised. Is that reading too much into it, or was that what you were going for?
No, 100%. No, 100%. It's like, first of all, you got to remember hip hop was demonized when we first came out, and then we were underestimated, right? Like Khaled said, they didn't believe in us. And remember, hip hop was a fad. I mean, you do your history. Like, it was a whole thing where it was like this music is a fad, it's blah 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 blah. And then after they couldn't get rid of us, they demonized us, and they start like driving tractors over our CDs and things like that. This is all history. So this for me feels like the end where the villain survives, doesn't go to jail, but gets to pop more shit. So it's like it's that feeling. I don't know if we've ever felt, or ever been vocalized in this way, and it be all true. you know that the thing that makes me most proud of every word I said in that thing is actual fact. um which is, that for me is it's a challenging thing to do, like to rap that long and every single bar is just like actual fact. And as far as like hip hop, the idea of, rest in peace Tilo, like this is these that's Tata's brother, Trance. Like and then like uh, a lot of fallen soldiers, that's Biggie, that's Pop. uh Kicking snow off of frozen Tim, that's people that go unnamed that you guys don't know about. Like it's so much in my life in there. And then there's like the way I connect overseas, Caddy. you know Caddy's story, I guess he could tell it on his own. um like just that, how powerful the music is, the reach of the music, and um where we come. So yeah, you're 100% on point.
Word. Do you ever get to a point, and obviously, right, this has been your story, but what makes now the right time to say, like, there's things, and even Guru said it, and him knowing you, there's things on this record that maybe he thought you'd never say, or, you know, that you haven't said before, or things that you revealed, and some of it is like a dog whistle. What makes now the right time, and do you self censor, or like, or sometimes do you come up with something and you be like, you know what, that's too much. Let me save that for later.
Yeah, because it's been 30 years.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't think I've, I don't know if I self censor. I'm aware of the timing of things. Um, I think that, again, some of these things are out of my control. It's just the way the world works and the universe works. Just Khaled came at this specific time. There's sometimes I like a beat, or I like a song and the timing ain't right, or you know, the timing is right and I don't like a song. It's so much that goes into like um, getting these things done these days. I have a lot of things on my plate, so sometimes it's just out of my control. It just was the right time, right place, um, right space in life, um, and it just happened. This is just magic. It's really out of our control.
Last question, and just because I mean this is Khaled's moment, right? There's the God Diz moment. Obviously, you were such a major part of that, but so many artists were a part of that. A lyric like, when you start going into how many billionaires can come from Hove's crib. I count three: me, Ye, and Ree, and Bron, technically, right? It makes me think. It makes me go back to when you did the Drake verse and said, "I made more millionaires than the Lotto did," and that was a flex. And maybe that was about 10 years ago at this point. Like, can you talk about the evolution of not just getting it for yourself, but being able to get it for other people around you, and make other people, put other people in position, and really in the span of 10 years, going from being able to save millions on a rap record to now saying billionaires.
Yeah, and we're not gonna stop. This the hip hop is young. We still growing, and we're not falling for that technology, whatever you know this public puts out there now. That before was the American dream. Pull yourself out of bootstraps, and you can make it in America. All these lies that America told us our whole life. Um, and then when we start getting it, they try to lock us out of it. They start inventing words like capitalist and things like that. I mean, we've been called nigger and monkeys and shit. I don't care. Those words y'all come up with, y'all got to come up with stronger words. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you. The words they come up with, they got to come up with stronger words. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be tricked out of our position. Y'all locked us out. Y'all created a system that, doesn't include us. We said, fine. We went our alternate route. We created this music. We did our thing. We hustled. We fucking killed ourselves to get to this space. And, now it's like, eat the rich and think, man, we're not stopping. So that evolution is, from us, we came from selling 7 records and selling records out our trunk, and no radio play. And I think Reasonable Doubt did 36,000 the first week or something like that. I may be adding a little to it. So we come from I come from Marcy Projects. My first house, 615 Lexington Avenue. My grandmother's house, 7 families lived. Like, she has 7 kids. My mother and my parents and siblings lived in that house. My aunt Nisi lived in that house. Hootie lived in that house. Butchie lived in the basement. I mean, this is one house. I went back to that house. I did an interview with Oprah, and I couldn't believe how small this house was, that all of us lived in that house. So again, that evolution that you speak of, it's just real and it's happening in real time, and I'm talking about it. And we're not going to stop, and we're not going to stop talking about it. They're not going to trick us out of and make us feel ashamed to be successful in a place that set up a system for us to be dead at 21. No, no, sir. No,
That's
not
right.
us.
Jay, we gave him his flowers earlier, but I just wanted to acknowledge Ari in the room for that amazing piece that he did. on your verse.
Yeah, Ari, that was an amazing piece. I appreciate that. Again, in the verse I say, my only goal is to make a real feel seen, you know, and when somebody break it down in that way, we all feel seen, and it wasn't me. I got calls from everybody like, man, we needed that right there, or that was amazing, or Ferg hit me up like, we needed that right there, like so people to articulate and understand what we're going through, you know. Um, so that was amazing job.
I'm honored to be listening to you. It's crazy, and I'll just say one thing. What we mentioned earlier, uh, before you joined, Khaled and everybody, one person was asking about, well, do you write this in a day? And I was saying I've been listening to you guys my whole life. Your work and the work of hip hop artists who've explained the real stories and history that wasn't always in the history books is why I did civil rights law, and then now I do journalism. And so you've been teaching people for so long, and as we explored there's people who don't listen, which is why you get that Mike Wallace moment. But when we, as a team, and I work with a team in my group at the MSNBC, when we write something like that and we go through the archives and we look through what you're doing, we're drawing on years of listening to you. So it's like it's an honor to be up here just listening to you tonight. But you laid it all out. You've laid it out before, where the hammer's rung, the news cameras never come, and the stories that are not only systematically ignored, they're lied on, and that ruins people's lives. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll get back to y'all, the way you showed through your life and other people's lives the arbitrary moving on either side of the law. The laws keep changing. The laws are enforced in
Hmm.
racist ways. The way you show your life, you've been moving in and out of that in way. I don't understand it all. I'm just learning. I'm listening. But the way you expose that, and I wonder for years whether people will study this verse and fully understand the poetry is as impressive as the life. It's an autobiography of a life story of achievement against the odds. It's extraordinary. Thank you for having me today.
Good man, appreciate that.
Wow, I'm gonna always have smoke for them. Khaled, where we at, Cal? How you feeling, Cal? This the most quiet Cal been
Yo,
since we
Khaled.
started this thing. I think he's speechless. What's going on? Well, we'll wait for Khaled to get
I
back.
Hit
said,
mute,
I
gotta
said,
hit mute.
Rob, I said, when the God is on, you listen. You don't
Nah,
interrupt. You let everything come clear and clarity. You listen. When the God is on, you listen, Rob. And that's what I was doing. Yo,
Yes,
yo,
sir.
man, I appreciate you, man. There's no words that, I'm saying. All I'm gonna do is, um, you know, every time I see you, when I'm not around you, you're my idol, you're my brother, you're my friend, and I appreciate you what you did for us on this record and what you've been doing for us. And we all screaming Hove did, you know what I'm saying? Because Hove did for real. And it's just important people know that, man, because you fight for us all the time. And we love that and we appreciate you. And just keep inspiring us, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
oh, man, and he's nice. Is there a favorite on this album or something? Because there's so much, but when you first heard it, obviously God did stood out to you. Was there something else on the album that just kind of blew you away or
Yeah,
made you feel
yeah,
so connected?
yeah. Definitely. I felt like I don't know if Tyler told that story, but he played me the Drake No Secret. I was like, man, I gotta open it. That it just
Mm-hmm.
set the right tone and vibe. Um, and then that big time joint, the pockets that little baby was catching on that, like he caught like I don't even know how many pockets, but he just kept switching. Um, obviously I messed with that Dirk record. 21 Savage is amazing. Um, that Kiss record is so hard. Khaled had a whole vibe. He may want to revisit that later, remix. But
Yeah, yeah.
the Kiss record,
Sorry about that, but yeah, you're right. I gotta tell him, man. I gotta tell him because I had a whole vibe and I felt like what we did today. I mean, put on the album, what we put out was so perfect, but it inspired other vibes too. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah.
Cal, was there any more to the Drake record? No Secret, just setting